Welcome to the boxing world, where champions are made and legends are born. Today we look at the latest controversy to erupt in the sport, as former super middleweight world champion Carl Froch has made some bold statements about one of the sport's biggest names, Anthony Joshua. Will Joshua be able to prove his critics wrong and maintain his ring dominance? Or is this the end of the road for this heavyweight superstar? Stay tuned as we explore Froch's comments and what they could mean for the future of boxing. This is a discussion you will want to attend. Joshua has faced some tough heavyweight opponents in recent years, including Alexander Povetkin, Joshua Parker, and Andy Ruiz Jr. His most recent fight was on April 1st, 2023, when he defeated Jermaine Franklin unanimously in his return to the ring and then hinted at a potential Tyson Fury fight. Despite his success, some critics argue that Joshua hasn't looked as dominant in the recent fight as he did earlier in his career, and that his fighting style may need to be better suited to the current crop of top heavyweights. With several talented fighters vying for the top spot, the heavyweight division is currently one of the most exciting and competitive in boxing. Top contenders include Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Oleksandar Usyk, each of whom would present unique challenges for Joshua if they met in the ring. Former super middleweight world champion Carl Froch commented on Joshua's victory, saying that he didn't look good and that if he goes for the world title, he will undoubtedly lose. Froch slammed Joshua's recent performance, claiming that he didn't look good and that he would almost certainly lose if he went for the world title. These remarks were direct and to the point, and they have caused many fans and commentators to question Joshua's ability as a top-level boxer. I have to be honest in my opinions and stick to my convictions when I speak about someone. If I don't believe someone has improved, such as AJ, since the Ruiz loss, I'll be honest about it. I don't think he's the same since that loss, he told BBC5. Joshua has lost all of his ferocity and killer instincts. He still has the ability and boxing skills and looks the part. On the other hand, Franklin hesitated every time he shaped up to hit him. I've never seen him like that before. He's a little shell-shocked, Froch explained. Froch also stated that Joshua appeared disinterested in his last fight, which is quite concerning. Froch's opinion carries weight because he's been in the ring and knows what it takes to win a world championship. If Joshua isn't wholly focused on the fight, he may have trouble in the long run. Furthermore, Froch claimed that Joshua was only in it for the money and was more interested in it than in the sport itself. While this may appear to be a harsh remark, it could be a valid concern. If Joshua is more concerned with money than his career, it could negatively impact his performance and overall legacy in the sport. Froch's most damning remark was that Joshua couldn't beat the current world champions. This statement is very concerning because it implies that Joshua can't compete with the best boxers in the world. This could be a significant setback for Joshua's confidence, affecting his future performances. Froch believes Andy Ruiz finished Joshua. Andy Ruiz undefeated, and took the belt from Anthony Joshua in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history in 2019. The Mexican victory was like a bucket of cold water for the Brits. Ruiz became champion in 3 of the 4 major boxing organizations, the WBA, WBO, and IBF, and he also knocked out someone who appeared unbeatable. In the rematch, Joshua won unanimously and exacted revenge, but he was never the same. Carl Froch analyzed the fight before Joshua and Franklin fought, focusing on Anthony and his defeat against the Mexican. Andy Ruiz defeated him. That loss took a piece of Joshua's soul, destroyed him, and made him nervous, he commented on his YouTube channel. Okay, he won the match, outboxing him in Saudi by moving and staying safe to win on points, but it wasn't a performance that convinced me that he believes in himself. He was fighting scared, on his back foot, and did what he had to do to get the win. Fair play to him. However, remember that these are merely Froch's opinions and do not necessarily represent the reality of Joshua's professional life. While Joshua has never faced Froch, his recent victories over Kubrat Pulev and Andy Ruiz Jr. have been impressive. Frock's remarks raise intriguing questions about Joshua's future in the sport. Is he as good as everyone says he is? Is he good enough to beat the current world champions? Is he more concerned with money than with the game? These are questions that Joshua will need to answer if he wants to remain a top-level boxer. The two-time heavyweight world champion has a rocky relationship with both men, and he's tired of hearing criticism about his career from former boxers. In 2020, Frock took issue with not being included in a list of the top 10 British fighters of all time, claiming that he should have been included instead of AJ, sparking a feud between the two men. In 2017, Khan accused Joshua of sleeping with his wife, but the heavyweight has always denied this. "These people don't get me," Joshua said of his feud with the two former fighters. "That's not on my wavelength, not on my level. I don't use boxing to rant, rave, or disrespect other fighters. I'm not going to talk about my enemies on the internet. I'd instead remain silent. These people want me to respond, but watch the clowns draw me in. When I saw Carl talking trash about me, I messaged him directly to find out what was happening. Why did he go online when it was Amir and that trash about me with his wife? At the very least, contact me. When I see these guys at a fight or somewhere, they'll approach me and say, 'Hi AJ, how are you?' How exactly does that work? It's not about clout where I come from. It's about results." According to Joshua, these two former boxers need help understanding him and what it takes to be a true champion. He claims they are off his wavelength or his level. What's interesting is that Joshua has stated that he will not use boxing to disrespect other fighters. He's not interested in ranting about his enemies on the internet. He would instead remain silent and rise above the negativity. However, he does object to how Frock and Khan have been speaking about him. When Frock chastised him for not being included in a list of the top 10 British boxers of all time, Joshua messaged him to find out what was happening. Similarly, when Khan accused Joshua of sleeping with his wife, Joshua denied it and wished Khan had messaged him directly rather than going online. Joshua does not want to be drawn into a verbal brawl with these two former boxers, nor does he want to gain clout. It's all about his result, and he's determined to be the best fighter. With all of this drama and controversy surrounding Joshua, it will be interesting to see how he responds in the ring. It should be noted that boxing is a sport that requires commitment, hard work, and focus. If Joshua is to continue to be successful, he must maintain these characteristics and prove the critics wrong. Frock's comments may have been harsh, but they remind us that Joshua must remain focused and work hard to achieve his sporting goals. Joshua has always been known for his strong work ethic and ability to step up to the plate when the stakes are high. He's faced some formidable opponents throughout his career, but he's always come out on top. With Frock and Khan's comments, Joshua may have a new chip on his shoulder. He may believe he has something to prove to himself, not just to his critics. Joshua takes his career seriously, and he isn't interested in picking fights with former boxers. He's concentrated on his training, conditioning, and mental preparation. As it evolves, there will always be new challenges and controversies in the sport of boxing. But it's all about staying focused and keeping his eyes on the prize for Joshua. The boxing world is full of drama, controversy, and excitement. But one thing is sure, Anthony Joshua is a fighter who has repeatedly demonstrated he has what it takes to be a true champion. Despite criticism from former boxers such as Carl Frock and Amir Khan, Joshua remains focused on his training and preparation. He's not interested in picking fights or wasting his time with negative comments. He's determined to maintain his position atop the heavyweight division and cement his legacy as one of the greatest fighters ever. As we say our goodbyes, we can't help but be excited for what's to come in the boxing world. There needs to be a telling of what the future holds with fighters like Anthony Joshua leading the way. So where does Anthony Joshua go from here? Will he continue to rule the heavyweight division or fall short of greatness? Only time will tell. As the boxing world waits and watches, Joshua remains one of the sport's most exciting and intriguing fighters, and his legend grows stronger with each passing day. What do you think of Carl Frock's remarks about Anthony Joshua? And do you believe his claims that Joshua isn't on the same level as some of the other top heavyweight boxers are true? Is it time to call it quits on Anthony Joshua's career? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.